Hello, I'm Michelle and our tour today takes us to the English Garden. The English Garden, with its 375 hectares, is one of the largest parks in the world and offers 78 kilometers of paved paths for walking, jogging or cycling. Friedrich Ludwig von Schull took the English landscape gardens as a model for the design of the park and gave it its catchy name. Whereas in earlier times the parks were reserved for the nobility, the English Garden was one of the first parks that everyone was allowed to enter. Today, the park, which by the way is one of the largest inner-city parks in the world, attracts around 3.5 million visitors a year. The Isarring, a 4-lane section of the so-called Münchner Ring, divides the garden into a southern and a northern part. According to the latest plans, the Isarring is to be laid in a tunnel and thus the two parts of the garden are to be reunited. In August 13, 1789, Elector Karl Theodor ordered the area east of Munich's military gardens to be transformed into a people's park. Today, this date is generally regarded as the actual founding day of the English Garden in its current form. This was the first plant of its kind in Europe. The court gardener school was responsible for the garden, while the overall responsibility remained with the Bavarian Minister of War, Benjamin Thompson, who later became Count of Rumford. Besides the lush greenery, the English Garden is characterized by its waters. At the southern end of the English Garden, the Schwabinger Bach and the Eisbach enter the park, merge and then flow again separately. From the Eisbach, the Oberstjägermeister Bach branches off, so that a large part of the English Garden is crossed by 3 approximately parallel streams. Directly south of the Isarring, which separates the northern part from the southern part of the English Garden, lies the 8.64-hectare Kleinhäusler See with the Sea House, a beautifully situated beer garden built in 1803. The third design element besides the planting and the waters are the buildings in the English Garden. The Rumford House, also Rumford Schloss, is a classicist building in the southwest of the garden and was named after the Imperial Count of Rumford, Sir Benjamin Thompson. It was first used as a casino for officers and later for courtly purposes. The Hall of Mirrors was a place of splendid dinner with up to 150 guests. Today it is known as the Nature and Culture Meeting. The most famous building in the English Garden is the Chinese Tower. The Chinese Tower was modelled on the double-tall Great Pagoda in the Royal Palace Garden of Kew Gardens in London, which was oriented towards a Majolica Pagoda in the gardens of a Chinese emperor. Munich's second largest beer garden with 7,000 seats is located at the Chinese Tower. During Advent a small Christmas market is held here and since 1989 the Cultural Ball has been held here every year. Near the Chinese Tower stands a popular children's carousel in the style of the Biedermeier period, which is open when the weather is fine. One of Munich's most photographed motifs is the Manape Rose. In 1831 the decision was taken to build a round temple, a monoptero, and 1 year later work began. The 16-meter-high round temple in classicistic Greek style was built from Kelheim limestone according to a design by Leo von Klenz. In the 1960s, the Monoptero Hill developed into a meeting place for alternatives, small artists, hippies, and bums. Nevertheless, it was not until 1982 that the city administration approved the use of the park by naked sunbathers. The officially approved nudist culture caused a sensation among locals and tourists and helped to make the English Garden known worldwide as a symbolic place of Munich's cosmopolitanism. On the occasion of the 1972 Summer Olympics in Munich and the twinning with the Japanese city of Sapporo, a Japanese tea house and garden were created on a small island at the southern end of the English Garden. The traditional Japanese tea ceremony takes place regularly in the tea house. Every year on the third Sunday in July, a Japan festival is held. In the immediate vicinity of the tea house is the famous Eisbach well. The surfing scene meets here all year round. However, only absolute professionals should venture into the water. Swimming is strictly forbidden here. The best place to watch can be found in Prinzregentenstrasse, right next to the Haus der Kunst. This is the end of today's tour. A detailed description can be found in the info area of my YouTube channel or in my blog. Did you enjoy the tour? If so, I would be happy about a like. Every 14 days a new video about Munich will be published here. If you don't want to miss any of them, just subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a nice day, your Michelle.